Hi, today's tutorial we're going to talk about making histograms in Excel. We're also going to talk about getting mean, median, and mode. And so here I have 100 different roles. Or, yes, 100 different roles. It went to one-on-one because I have roles here. Now, this particular set of roles is two 5-sided dice. You don't have 5-sided dice, so I figured I would do an example that included 5-sided dice. Now, this is our experimental result here. In other words, this is what we actually rolled when we had the dice. But I can't create a histogram just from this. What I can do is I can get a mean, median, and mode from this. So let's take a look. If I want to get the mean, median, mode, and even standard deviation. Let's say standard deviation. Like this. That's pretty straightforward. I'll say mean is equal to, and they don't have a mean function like that. I will say equals, so I put the equal sign, and I'll say average of, open up, and I put the numbers I want. And now I just want everything that's in column A, so I'll just click column A. Roles, it's not going to count. And then I just push enter, and there's my average, 6.37. It's going to be my mean. Median, I do the same thing, equal median, column A, and equal mode, column A. So here's my mean, median, and mode. If I want to get my standard deviation, I put standard ST, and then you can see there's a couple of standard deviations. This is standard deviation P, standard deviation S. Standard deviation P is standard deviation of the population. Standard deviation S is standard deviation of a sample. So we're looking at a sample. So we're going to look standard deviation of a sample. I can double click on it, click on column A, and that'll give me my standard deviation right there, 2.0033. We're done. We don't have to worry about the formulas or anything like that. Alright, so mean, median, mode, standard deviation. And we can do the same thing for the theoretical. And actually, let's go ahead and count up what we have here, because we're interested in the frequencies. So our possible roles are going to be 2 through 10. 2 if we got 1 and a 1, 10 if we got a 5 and a 5. So this is equal to, well, this is just equal to 2. Now to get the next one, I could just put 3, and I can easily put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up there. But I want to show you how you can automate it, in case you have 1,000 you have to do. So this is equal to this cell here, plus 1. So I'm going plus 1. So copy that and paste it down to here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are all the possibilities. Now I want to count it, so this is going to be the frequency. So how many times do I have a 2 there? That's going to equal count if, and there are a lot of different formulas you can use if you are confused or you want to try something. Best thing to do is just look it up on Google and see if you can do it. So count if range, comma, criteria. So range is just going to be A, and criteria is I just want it to equal this number here, 2. So there are 5 2's. And copy this, either right click, nope, okay, did not want to right click, and copy, or just Control C and copy, and then right click and I just do the first paste, and it gives me here rolls and frequency. So I have rolls, I have frequency. Now let me take a look at the histogram. So insert, and you might be interested to go into insert histogram, right? No, don't do histogram. Just actually go to recommended charts. And it seems to be the first one, clustered column. It's a histogram, but it calls it a clustered column. Don't worry about that. Alright, so did not put the axis labels that I liked, but that's okay. We can just add them here. Add axis labels. Now this is going to be 2D5, and I'm going to say experimental. Then my axis here is just going to be roll. Perfect. And here's going to be frequency. Alright, so here's my 2D5 experimental. Here is my roll. And here is my frequency. We learned how to count, and we learned how to get mean, median, mode, and standard deviation. Alright, so that's what we need for the experimental. Like that. What about for the theoretical? Well, to do the theoretical, we want to write the sample space. So I'm going to go down here a little bit. And 1, 2, like that. So my sample space, 1/2. There we go. So die 1 is going to be this way. Die 2 is going to be that way. So die 1 could be 1. It could be 2, 3, 4, 5. So equals 1 plus this cell here, or that cell plus 1. So copy that. 3, 4, 5. And paste that. Again, it doesn't need to be as much of a copy-paste to do the formulas, but this is just showing you how to do the formulas. So that's equal to 1, and that's equal to 1 plus that cell over there. Copy it, 3, 4, 5, and paste. Now, this is going to be our sample space. These are just the titles. So I want my sample space to look a little different. So I'm going to have it be yellow. Let's see how that works. Okay. So my sample space is going to be yellow. Make it yellow just to make it pretty, or to distinguish it. Now for this cell, I want it to add up this one and this one. So I'm going to say equals this plus this. And that gives me 2. It's great. D21, so D21, which is this cell, and C22, which is this cell. Now if I copy this, so if I copy this here, and let's say I paste it here, because I'd like to paste it everywhere, I'll get a 0 here. Because the reason is, if I copy this, this just goes 1 up and 1 over. If I copy and paste it here, this will go 1 up and 1 over. But I don't want it to go 1 up and 1 over. What do I want to stay the same? This is E24. Well, I'd prefer this to go to not E24, but C24. So if I go here, I want that C to stay the same, so I'll put a $sign in front of the C. I don't want this C, and you can see the C. I want to count something that's in the C column. And for this one, see this is a 21 row, I want things to go in the 21 row. So for here, I'm going to put a $sign in front of the 21. And now, if I take this and I copy it, Control copy, and then I'll put it everywhere here. And here is, oh, nope, everywhere here. And then here as well. And paste it. So now let's take a look. If I look here, oh shoot. Might have put a $sign there instead of a 4. I said a $sign instead of a 4. All right. There we go. So 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5. I take a look at this one, and this is adding up this and this, which is exactly what I wanted. So now I need to do a frequency for this here. Alright, so now, again, I got a roll and frequency. So roll can be 2. It's going to equal 2 plus 1. We'll copy that and paste it. Alright, to 11, just get rid of 11. And I'll use again count if. Equal count if. Now my range is going to be here to here, comma, 2. How many 2's do I have in that range? I got 1, 2, which makes sense. Now when I copy and paste, I'm going to have the same problem where everything's going to keep going down. So if I look at this, I'm highlighting all that. If I were to just copy and paste it down, copy, paste, notice that now this has gone down 1. So that's not what I want. Alright, so let's take a look at this. I want to keep these cells the same. So I got D22 to H26. Well, I'm just going down. So I want the 22 and 26 to stay the same. I'm not going to the right. So I want the 22, so dollar, and 26 dollars. So now the 22 and 26 won't change. So now I can copy and paste it. And we can see that 22 and 26 don't change. The H and D don't change as well because I'm not copying over here. If I copied over here, then this group of cells would start shifting over one by one by one. And in that case, I would need to put a $sign in front of the D and the H as well. So here's my roll, and here's my frequency. This is my theoretical. I'm going to insert recommended charts. And it'll give me this. Again, I can play with the axis labels, and this is 2D5 theoretical, and this is roll. So frequency. Alright, and that's based on our data there. Let's take a look. How do these two compare to each other? How do these two... Can I move this? Let me move it. Okay. So, I'm simply looking at how do these compare. Experimental, theoretical. This goes up and down. It looks beautiful. This one, not so beautiful. We got a bunch of 8s. Not so many 8s here. So, I can see a general pattern. Higher in the middle, lower at the outside, but not super close. But the more rolls we make, the closer it should look to this. So this is 2D5 theoretical, and it looks like this. Let's experiment with 100 rolls. What if instead of 100 rolls, I did 10,000 rolls? How would that look? Well, to save time, I did that over here. 10,000 rolls, you can actually look at it if you want. No one needs to look at it, but a bunch of rolls. And you can see the chart here. Now I'm looking at just the shape, not the numbers here, because obviously the more numbers I have, the higher the frequency will be. I'm not worried about the title. But you can see actually it looks pretty close here. And if I do the random rolls again, see random between 1 and 5 plus random between 1 and 5. Every time I change it, this changes but just a little bit. I still have that overall good shape. Now, you notice I did random between 1 and 5 plus random between 1 and 5. I did not do random between 2 and 10. You will not get the same distribution. You can try it yourself, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But really don't have time to continue that for now. But I did simply want to show you how it would look if we had a very large number. And it looks very, very close to what the theoretical value should be. So that's perfect. All right, that is it for today. Thank you.